Okay, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here. Every single day from our wonderful viewers, I get questions like, Zaf, how do you have so much power on Jinwoo, and how do you have so much attack? Well, let me go over the best build possible on him, that way you know exactly what to run when it comes to your weapons, your stats, your runes, and your blessing stones, but also your artifact sets. Very important. The best sets to run on Jinwoo right now are the Curse and Extra set, but also the Obsidian set as well, depending on how long your battles are. Very important. If it's a short battle, the Obsidian set is just so strong. With a 60% damage increase, it is beyond OP. You do have to maintain a 40% mana amount, but that is very doable. This set is so strong. But do note, for longer battles, the Expert set is beyond OP. Every single stack it provides gives you a 1.6% attack bonus, stacking over 100 times. That means a 160% attack increase. Yeah, that's what I call juicy. And the Curse set as well. Honestly, there's no better set right now for Jinwoo when it comes to getting the most power and most damage in. As you can see right here, the Force set effect, we get a user's damage increase of 20%, including a 0.1 stacking effect, stacking up to 100 times, giving us another 10% bonus, so 30% total. That is honestly what we need. The 8 set effect, although it's good, it's not good enough to replace our Expert and Obsidian sets, so do take note of that. The only reason when you would use the 8 set effect is to get more power on Jinwoo, but that's all needed. You want to make sure your stats are the best, and when it comes to, of course, stats, your artifact stats, what do you run? Well, very important. When it comes to your main stats, when you do have the option, you always want to go additional attack. That's because the attack percentage is so much higher than the bonus you can get right here. Let me show you, for example. Let me go to, let's say, this piece here. As you can see, we have 25.26% attack on this club when it only has +3 on it. But let me show you here. Let's go to another Curse set that does have the attack percentage up top. You can see 21.32%. Not as good, not even close. So make sure when it comes to your pieces, you always want the high potential that comes from the percentage stat in the substats. Always go for additional in the main stat when it comes to Jinwoo. Very important. The amount of attack you can get is so much higher. 22.35 on this one. It just keeps going up, so very important. Let me show you this right here. This one is at 28%. That's why it is so important to get the percentage on the substats for Jinwoo at least. Very strong, but let me show you every single piece. That way, you'd have a reference on what to get. So we have additional attack, we have damage increase, defense, pen, and attack. Same thing for every other piece. Damage increase, defense, pen, attack percentage, the main stat bonus we want, and additional attack. Same thing again here. So they're all pretty much the same. For our boots, we go crit damage. That is the stat we need. It is the best one for here. Defense pen is alright, but Jinwoo, due to Shadow Step, does not really need it, so don't worry too much about that. Crit damage is the way to go. And again, our expert sets here, we have attack and attack. We have more attack, defense, pen, damage increase, and more attack. Dark damage is the way to go on Jinwoo, just because we use magnifying slashes on extreme, but make sure for every single game mode you jump into, you do want to generally adjust your bracelet to ensure matches the stat of the weapon you're using. So this is dark, I would use a dark weapon, but if I'm using, let's say, the Demon King Daggers, they are a wind weapon, I want to have this as wind damage, very important, do know that. But here's our ring as well. We have attack percentage and attack. Ideally, this will be swapped. We will get much more attack from doing that. And here is our earring again. Attack percentage and crit damage, very nice. And here is our base stat. You can see we have 11,000 crit, which is just a bit too high. I would say 8,000 is fine. Our crit damage is picture perfect. 200% is just what you want. And as we go down here, you can see we have defense pen. 13% is okay, depending on the mob you face. Based on the enemy level, you might need more defense on coming in or various gimmicks they may have, but for Jinwoo it's fine. We have Shadow Step, so we're good to go. Also, damage increase is a must. 30% is beautiful. So these are my stats. I can clear every piece of content in the game running these stats here, so do take note of that, very important. But when it comes to your weapons, what do you do? Well, you do have some options. And sorry everyone, very important, I do want to remind you, if you're new to the game or if you're a returning player, to please go to the link down below and support us for free codes. Yes, free. There is no cost associated to this program. This is Netmarble's partner program that does allow us to send you free codes, so make sure you go to the link down below, you link your account, and then you press this button here. Then you wait about, I would say, 12 hours to a day. Sometimes I do send it way faster, but after you wait, go to the top right here. You press my page. Once you press that, again after waiting, you scroll down. My name should come up. If you do not see my name, that means you are not supporting us, so make sure my name shows up. You keep scrolling down, and then all the unique codes will be here. These are unique to your account after you support, so please make sure, go to the link down below, support us, that way you do not miss out on all these benefits here. We have 1,000 asset zones, mad power extracts, and more. It is your benefit, so please do not miss out. And I do want to mention benefit, make sure you join our Discord server. We have hundreds of dollars in giveaways for you. All you have to do is be a supporter, send your proof on the Discord server, and then you can enter on these giveaways. It is 100% transparent. You press this button, you enter, then you wait, and boom, you can see if you won. $100 giveaways. Oh baby, we have so many, so make sure you join, that way you do not miss out. But speaking of miss, we have Vasan, they do not miss. They were our first commenter on last video. Here's your shout and enjoy that juicy exclusive Discord role. The best weapons for Jinwoo are plain and simple Plum and any other weapon. This weapon here is so good. It is my next weapon to get all the way up to 120, so do keep note of that. You want to make sure when it comes to your weapons, you do have a priority in terms of what you get to 120 first. I would say if you're new to the game, get the DKD first, I mean King's Daggers, and your Plum. Those are your priority. If you're in the mid game, I would say the DKD, your Plum, the Grimoire, and your Moonshadow are the best options. But in the late game, like me, I just went for the Grimoire and the Moonshadow for Guild Boss. I will be going for the Quarterstaff and my Plum next to ensure I get the most damage coming in, but you can't really go wrong. You will get plenty of resources to upgrade your weapons, so don't worry too much about that. Just focus on the Plum, the Grimoire, the Moonshadow, the DKD, and the Quarterstaff. The best weapons to go for. But how about our stats? Very confusing. Right now I have all strength, but that is not ideal. You do want some stats in perception, but my precision stat is so high just because of what? Our advancements on our weapons, but also our gems. Very important. I'll show you our gems as well. But going to our stats here, you can see our precision is high, so I just went with maximum strength, but that is not ideal because a lot of the time we run a very special blessing stone known as Into It. That means we do need intelligence, but also when it comes to game modes like the Power of Destruction and the Guild Boss Battle, we do need more intelligence coming in. Generally speaking, 350 is the goal, so I would say for your stats, you do have to reset them quite often. Jinwoo stats do fluctuate very often, so you have to go for intelligence and perception, that's a must, so I would reset it here. And this is what I would do if I wanted to go for the Guild Boss Battle. I would put 350 into the stat here, a lot there, yeah. That's a lot of intelligence. Jinwoo is going to be so smart. And I would say around 50 when it comes to perception, giving us that bonus precision stat. And then when it comes to strength, everything else goes in this stat. Very perfect. But if you're facing, I guess, regular game modes, and you have the legendary into it, just put 200 into here, put 50 into precision, and then the rest into strength. That is ideal, let me confirm. As you can see, our attack has dropped, but don't worry, because we'll run the Intuit Blessing Stone here, boom equipped, we do end up getting a hidden 2,000 attack bonus, which does not reflect here, so do take note of that. That does scale off our other bonuses, which is very good. It is not the best Blessing Stone out there, but it is certainly a good one. You can replace it, of course, with Double-Edged Sword. It does give you a bit more attack, but with Intuit, you do get some bonus intelligence, so again, not too bad at all. But I'll cover Blessing Stones in just a second here. If we go back to our stats, my precision is at 95%, which is just fine. I can get a bit higher based on our gems, which I do want to show you now. Jinwoo's gems have changed just a bit. We do have new priorities when it comes to the best tier 5 gems. This is only for tier 5. I don't cover tier 4, tier 3, and tier 2, just because you want to go for tier 5, that is a must. So let's go here. These are mine right now. Attack percentage, additional attack. We have HP percentage. You do not want to go flat HP. It is the worst stat to get when it comes to gems. Please take note of that. It is just terrible. It'll give you a major nerf to your HP. The flat one is terrible, terrible, terrible. And when it comes to defense, Before additional defense was better, but now percentage is, so I'm swapping all my additional all the way to percentage. I did test it out, and percentage is much better, so do take note of that. And when it comes to your orange gems, again, you want all precision all the time. It is the best one to get. You do get a bit lower power based on this compared to defense penetration and crit damage, but it is a superior stat. We have so much crit damage available, we have so much defense pen available, but we do not get any precision. So again, do take note, very important. And when it comes to the purple gems, honestly speaking, you can split it up. It's kind of up to you. I prefer mana consumption reduction, but getting more mana is just fine. As you can see, I have one here, so not too bad. It does help out, but I do like the consumption reduction myself. It's up to you. You can do 50-50. That's what a lot of people do. But when it comes to your red gems, do take note. When it comes to tier 5, flat attack gets good when you max out the value. Our tier 5 gems do have variable amounts. It is RNG based. You can see 290. This one is 260. This one is 230. Ew. Don't run it. I would say if it's maxed to 350, you want to choose it, but generally speaking, you do want percentage all the way maxed out 4%. That is juicy. I believe anything above the 3.6% mark does beat out additional attack. So again, it's up to you which one you want to run, but starting out, it's going to be tough to get percentage. We have a lot of 4% here. We have one here that is 3.4%. I would honestly swap it out for flat one if it was 350, but right now, this is the best one I have compared to these ones here. 290, not good enough, so we're running this one, very nice. And yeah, that's gems. So again, it's up to you what you want to run here. If you don't want to be efficient and you want more power coming in, that is an option you can take. Obviously, more power is nice, but the precision route is the best one out there, giving you the maximum damage possible when it comes to consistent damage results. But with all that said, let's jump back to Jinwoo. Let's cover what do we have here. Our weapons are done, our stats are done, the ones you want to run, these stats as well. Let's do our cores next. Very important. When it comes to cores, this one is the best for Jinwoo, rocking the attack percentage stat. When it comes to the substat, you can choose anything you want based on the artifacts you have. So if I go to my stats here, you can see based on all the results, the only stat I need more of is probably damage increase and lowering our crit rate, with maybe some defense pen depending on the game mode, but right now my stats are honestly perfect. There's really nothing I would change besides lowering our crit rate just a bit. It is a bit too high. I would say between the 10 to 8,000 mark is okay, but yeah, 11,000 is way too high, closing on 12,000, way too high. So I'd convert this into damage increase preferably. That would give me an immediate bonus to my damage overall, so do take note of that. Damage increase is a fantastic stat, you will see immediate results. But going back to our cores, I would say the ones you want to choose is this one for Jinwoo, and this one as well isn't too bad. Again, make sure it is the Jinwoo variety. I don't have one just yet. This is my one for Kane, so I will have to change it soon, but you could run this one as well. It's not too bad. I guess getting more ultimates in, but not viable. The mana consumption reduction is a must, helps you out so much in basically every single game mode. That one's my favorite. And when it comes to this one here, again, it's kind of up to you. There really isn't a good one for Jinwoo. I mean, getting more defense is useless. Getting a shield is nice, so when the ultimate, proccing the Guardian set, but again, we don't need it. So that's why I run a Hunter version 1 on Jinwoo, just because he doesn't need his own. Very important to note. As you can see, a damage taken increase reduction, defense, all this is junk, more defense. So yeah, you don't really need to focus on the cube for Jinwoo, not important, but the rest is fine. Mana consumption reduction and the attack bonus, giving us a 5% attack bonus on Jinwoo, which is ideal. So we have the cores done there, the artifacts are done, we have the runes next. Oh baby, when it comes to your runes, honestly, there's not too many to choose from. We do have the magnifying slash Sonic Stream skill. This is the best damage dealing skill for dark, for fire, and for light, especially for fire when you run the Fan of the Fire Demon, but also the Phoenix Soul, that's a must. And honestly speaking, when it comes to DPS skills, there's not too much else out there. We have a lot of battlefield time skills, but for raw DPS, I mean, Dagger Toss is fine. The light variant is very strong, but the rest not so much. Reap does deal a lot of damage, but it's just not good enough right now. It used to be good for the counterattack, giving us a shadow set, but now not the best. This is good for battlefield time when the target does break, giving us a 250% damage increase to targets, and he breaks a very OP. But besides that, yeah, Sonic Stream is the way to go. It is the main damage dealing skill you'll use basically in every single game mode, regardless of their element most of the time. But when it comes to break, this skill here is so strong. The wind version, the fire version, the water, and the light version, they're all meta. And when it comes to even more break, dispersion is very good. Even for damage, it's not too bad, giving us a nice damage result. So you can run that as well for break and damage. Very OP. The wind one does provide us a bit of break, but also a passive stacking effect. Not too bad. The water one is fine for more break if you have anything else, but not the strongest skill. You can see the arm break version has much more damage, but I digress. When it comes to damage for break, you don't really need too much damage coming in. It is just the break effect you want. And other skills here, honestly, again, not too much there. But when it comes to your QTs, you have to realize there are some very good ones out there. This one is OP when the target doesn't have a break gauge. You can get a 20% damage increase to target. Very OP. This one's good for damage. Thunderstorm, not too bad at all. The fire version is fine if it stacks, but overall, not one we really use. And this one here, yeah, compressed, again, not really used too much. Does provide minimal break, kinda weak if you ask me. And for other QT, this one's very good for the corrosion effect, giving us more break and also medium break. Very strong. Iceberg 2 does interrupt the target for 2 seconds, and also the bonus freeze damage, very nice. The highest damage dealing QT, with the exception, of course, of Overshadow, giving us a 200% skill damage increase, which is OP, making it the strongest one out there, and the castingest move. So it is the one you want to run. We have one more here, that being Squall, if I can find it. There we go, Squall. Squall is pretty good for break as well, and again, the corrosion effect, so I would say those are your best bets. This one here isn't really used too much. Extinction, it's alright for the reduction in the target's attack. Right now, we don't really have targets that nuke us, but later on, if we have to face that, this is ideal. A 40% reduction to the target's attack, that's a lot, so do keep this one in mind, but right now, not meta. The best ones are listed, like I said, Ice Strike for the freeze. We have Overshadow for the raw damage, and then Squall, getting that break in. Those are the best ones to run. And ultimate, of course, you want to run this one here, the main ultimate skill, the brand new one, King's Domain, giving us the most damage possible. Now, with runes covered, let's do Blessing Stones very quickly. I mean, Blessing Stones, you do have a lot of options, they're all very good, but 2 you generally always run is Reawakening and Bloodlust. These are so good. Intuit is pretty good too, especially because we always run Intelligence, but you do have better attack scaling options based on testing done by the community. We have Double-Edged Sword and also Mana Rampage. They are better in terms of giving you more attack, but do note when it comes into it, you are getting that bonus cooldown, so I guess it's kind of like an even mix almost. And sorry about that. I've been playing for 11 hours making videos for you, so make sure you drop a like on this video if you want to see more. Very important. I do this to give you the best info out there, but going back to our Blessing Stones, Pulverize is very good for break, Sharp Perception if you want more crit, Boss Slayer is okay for neutral modes as well, it can be useful, and other ones here, Bloodlust we covered, Weakness Section is very good too, giving us that bonus elemental weakness damage with OP, and I would say Demon Slayer is fine, giving you the mana if you need it, if you want to spam, of course. But besides that, nothing else to really cover here. Yeah, we have Intuit. Desire is good, but it's so hard to min-max your mana. It's just not possible. You'll always be above it, or sometimes too low based on the effect, so I wouldn't run it generally speaking, unless you're a pro. Then if you are, well, make sure you run it. It gives you the highest stack possible. But yeah, generally speaking, those are your Blessing Stones. You are going Pulverize for break, you're going Reawakening Bloodlust basically every single game mode, and Weakness Section, Double-Edged Sword, Sharp Perception, and Intuit based on the stats you have, but also based on the Blessing Stones you do have unlocked. Now, with that said, we have almost every single thing covered, but when it comes to your hunters, the best support hunters are very simple. We have Isla. She has 2 huge support skills coming in clutch with her, but she is very OP. Her support skill is amazing, especially when you advance her up super OP. We have Malin as well, one of the best supports in the game, especially Min at the A1 mark. Truly the best support for the least investment. So good. Akari is fine based on her support skill. It's not too bad, so she is an option there. But yeah, those are the main supports you want to run for the maximum damage. No one else really comes to mind unless I'm forgetting someone, but I don't think I am. We have Min, we have Akari, we have Malin and Isla. They are truly the best supports to run when it comes to maximizing your damage on Jinwoo. But with all that said, we do have to cover our shadows as well. Generally speaking, for Jinwoo, the best shadows to run for his Shadows Authority is Igris. We have Blades for the attack, Igris for the crit. We have Big Rock for the basic skill damage. I would say Igris and Big Rock are your main shadows to always use. Again, Igris giving us that major crit bonus. Let me show you here, right down here, when it comes to Shadow Authority. We get an 8% crit rate bonus, which is very strong, and Big Rock all the way down here, giving us a 12% basic skill damage bonus, so everything but our ultimate skill. Very, very strong. You can run blades if you want for even more attack percentage, but it's not really ideal. Basic skill damage is fine. We have the crit rate as well, but when it comes to your support channels, there's really only 3 options. The best one being Serbi, giving us a global 5% damaging increase to the target with an infinite duration. For your Hunters and Jinwoo, you will always be running them, and Biru of course, giving us that punishment effect, which is good besides when we run Min on our team, just because their effects don't stack. So if you have the punishment bonus from Min, Biru's passive does not stack, so it's not like a 20% bonus. It is just either 5% or the 15% from Min, so do take note of that. Very, very important, but Biru is still very strong for other modes. That is an option. Kaisel is good too, giving us the highest damage when it comes to shadows. They are so OP. Their percentages are so high, so again, do take note of that. But when it comes to support channels, that's basically it. Iron is fine. I guess in the beginning you can run him for defense reduction, but he is not ideal. But honestly, he is one of my favorite channels just based on the manhwa. He was hilarious, so he does have a special place in my heart. But that is the complete build. Oh, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure if you did to drop a like, subscribe, and do support us for free codes, yes free, on Netmarble Supporter Program. The link is down below. Again, it's totally free. You press this button here after linking your account, and then you wait about a few days. You scroll down, all the way down here. My name should come up. Then you scroll down more, and all the unique codes we send to you. So please enjoy. It's my gift to you. There is no cost associated to it. It is all free. So on that note, this is your Code King Zaf, signing out.